Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om. Pranams to the lotus feet of the Lord, pranams to all the Mahatmas and Gurujis, pranams to all of you. We are in the 99th shloka. We are halfway through that. Let us chant the shloka again. Uttarano dushkritigaha punyo dushwapnanashanah viraha rakshana santo jivanah paryavastitah. Uttaranaha, one who helps to cross the ocean of samsara. Dushkritigaha, one who destroyed all activities of adharma. Punyaha, the giver of punya. Duswapananashaha, one who dispels bad dreams. And then Viraha, the destroyer of various courses of samsara. Then Rakshanaha, one who protects. Up to this we have seen in the last class. Let us continue. Couple of more namas are there. Santaha. Santaha means the one in the form of a saintly person. So those who are in the Sanmarga, the path of Dharma, and have got the Vidya and Vinaya, they should follow Dharma. They have got the Vidya, which is the self-knowledge, Atma Vidya and Vinaya. The knowledge, humility, and our Santas. Santas means saintly persons. It is because of his knowledge and grace that Vidya makes the ignorant person wise. So I am not ignorance, but I am the consciousness, Satchit Ananda. Even though the knower goes about gathering knowledge about various things, he will still be called self-ignorant. As long as you are not getting the understanding about yourself, everybody is ignorant. Understand this. You may know any other subjects in the world, but without the Atma Jnanam, we call it self-knowledge, the person is ignorant of the self-ignorant. So when the knowledge that I am the Satchit Ananda, Aham Brahmasmi, so the Satchit Ananda, which is the Swarupa of the knower, which is the Swarupa of the knower is gained, the notion that I am ignorant goes away. How does the notion goes away? Because once I understand I am the Atma, which is Akarta, Abhokta, Nirvikara, and which is always there, then what happens is, then I understand I am not this body mind complex at all. This body mind complex is given to me just to get the knowledge. It is an instrument, it is a karanam. I'm not this karanam, I'm not the instrument. When I take a pen and write in a paper, do you identify with the pen? No, pen is only an instrument to do the writing. Computer is an instrument. Cell phone is an instrument. Like that, we should treat our body, mind complex, sense complex as an instrument. So those who have trained and understand, I am not this body, mind complex. I am the Atma, Satchit Ananda Atma. I am Ham Purnaha. Aham Nirvikaraha. Aham Nirgunaha. That means what? I am Ananda Swarupaha. Purnatvam is there. I have got complete Ananda in me. Not in me. I am the Ananda Swarupa. So when you have got that notion, the ignorant goes away. That I am the ignorant goes away. Because as a Ajnani, as if you identify with body mind complex, how much you can gain? Nobody in the world knows everything in the world. It is not possible. Only Ishvara knows everything. We all know only a small portion of the world. So the moment you say you disidentify with the body mind complex and identify with the Atma, Satchit Ananda Atma, your ignorance goes away. So the source of this knowledge is Ishvara, and it is Ishvara alone who is in the form of these Santas. Santaha. In North India, they use the word Sant. Sant Tukaram. Sant means they are all Jnanis. Sant. So he is called Santa. Again, it is Ishvara alone who blesses the world through these Santas by giving Vidya and Vinaya. That means what? In our Bharat Desha, we have got so many such Mahats. Mahatmas have come and gone. And so many people are still there. There are so many Mahans have done avataram in our great land called Bharat and gained this knowledge. So many rishis, so many saints have taken it. Every part of the India, Bharat Desha, today's India is called the extended form. Everything is Bharat. There we have got so many knowledgeable, wise people who have come and who have spread this knowledge and still spreading the knowledge. Okay. And what is the spreading the knowledge? Atma Jnanam. And they are all embodiment of Vinaya, humility. Vidya Datadi Vinayam. They are embodiment of humility. They are spreading the knowledge. So Bhagavan says, I am in the form of these saintly people. So there is a saying in Sanskrit, Kashaya Dandamatrena Pujita. The moment you say, normally, in our normal case, there are two kinds of saints. One kind of saints is the sannyasi who has taken the akar robe as the vastra or the akar robe as the uniform, and some people may carry the danda, a stick. So that is one type of, not everybody who is carrying a stick and then the akar robe is a saintly person. We do not know whether the person is saintly or not, but normally in our tradition, we call them as sannyasis. The moment you see somebody there, you fall at the feet. Because we give, what do you call it in our English language, you say, give the benefit of doubt. Because nobody can measure whether the other person is a jnani or not. So in our tradition, culture, anybody who is a sannyasi, we fall at the feet of them. We take their blessings. Okay, that is a very important thing. Unless it is otherwise proved otherwise, we always say the person is a saintly person. They are all Santa. And we have got so many such saints. The second type of saints is what? Grihastha Jnani. They are all like you and me. They may be wearing a jeans pant and then t-shirt and then still be Mahagyani. People like Janaka, Yagyavalkya, now Ashwapati. Ashwapati is Kaigeyi's father. So they are all Mahajnanis. Karmanaivagi samsistim astita Janaka deha. Krishna quotes in Bhagavad Gita. People like Janaka have achieved this. So you can be a Grihastha Jnani, you can be a Kshatriya, you can be a Brahmana, you can be anything. But you can be a Grihastha Jnani, and as long as human is there in this form, you can get Jnana. Kannappa Nayanar is a Jnani. So as long as you have got the Jnanam, anybody can get the Jnanam, and we do not know whether the person is Jnani or not. So as a Grihastha, you cannot make out, but as a Sannyasi, there's a uniform. So we always prostrate whenever we see a Sannyasi. And our land of Bharat has got so many sannyasis. If you want further description of the sannyasis, the Santaha, this one word, for those who have got the book Tirukural, there's a third chapter called Neetar Perumai. Neetar Perumai. Neetar means those who have disidentified from this body-man complex and identified them as Atma. That is the Jnanis. Perumai means glory. Neetar Perumai is the third chapter of the Tirukural. You can either read the original Tamil or you can read the English text and see those 10 couplets which glorifies the Jnanis, which glorifies the saints. So he says, Bhagavan says, I am in the form of saintly persons. They are the one who are also sharing the knowledge. The saints again can be of two types. Could be saints who are completely withdrawn from the world. They can be even hiding in the Himalayas, we do not know. Or somewhere in the ashrama, there are many such saints are there. There are certain saints who come out and spread the knowledge. Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Dayananda, our Swami Paramarthananda, Swami Omkarananda, our Shringeri Acharyas, Kanchi Acharyas, so many Acharyas are there. So there are saints who spread the knowledge. So these saints are of the two types. One is withdrawn one, or the one who propagates the whole thing. So they are embodiment of humility, purnatvam, fulfillment, happiness, everything. And they come back and share the knowledge for what? Because out of compassion. Bhagavan says, I have sent these people out of compassion. I am sending them, all of them. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam. We say the prayer, right? So I'm saying everything I'm sending them because of what? Because this Sanatana Dharma will be eternal. We need not protect Dhanalta Dharma. What we need to do is, I tell you repeatedly in our classes, what we have to do is we have to follow the Dharma which is given in our scriptures. Just follow. What? Be a dharmic person. Study the scriptures. Not only be a dharmic and good ethical person, there are so many good persons are there. But scriptural study is lost. We have to revive the scriptural study in a big way. And with a proper tradition, we need to study. And if you are sincere, Acharya will come in your doorstep, Bhagavan says. So you have to study the scriptures, get the jnanam. And Bhagavan says, I am in the saintly persons. So in our Bharat Desha, what I am saying is, we will continue to have this Sanatana Dharma will ever flourish. In fact, it will spread further all over the world. Take it from me. It was earlier and it has come shrink and again it will go back. It will go back because this is the ultimate quality of thinking a human being has got. I am not discrediting any religion. Every religion is good. But the Sanatana Dharma, what the Vedas have expounded, is the ultimate human thinking possible, the best human thinking possible. Think about it. It is not humanly possible. That's why we say it is given by the Bhagavan. Shastra is given by the Bhagavan. He has given it and we are only the one who are utilizing it. So he is Santaha. Then Jivanaha, one who sustains the life. He is Jivanaha, sustaining the life of all beings in the form of Prana. Pranamaya Kosha. The Prana. Then Paryavastitaha, one who stands pervading the entire Jagat. The space is all pervasive and every object in the space is pervaded by space. Space has got no other role except to provide accommodation for everything. In this way alone, it is all pervasive. Parameshwara being the Nimitta and Upadana Karanam, intelligent and material cause, is all pervasive and pervades the entire micro and macro world. There is a suktam. Suktam means glorification. There's a suktam called Narayana Sukta, which says, Antar Bahishya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitaha. He stands pervading the entire Jagat, both inside and outside. How does he pervade? That comes in the next shloka, the next nama. All are interconnected. Let us chant next shloka number 100. Totally 108 shlokas. We have now come to the 100th shloka. Okay? Let us chant. Anantarupo Nantashri Jitamanyurbhayapaha Chaturasro Gabhiratma Vidusho Vyadisho Dishaha Anantarupo Nandashri Jitamanyurbhayapaha Chaturasro Gabhiratma Vidusho Vyadisho Dishaha. Anantarupaha Paryavastitaha, he said, I am pervading the entire Jagat. Then he says here, one of countless forms. How does Bhagavan pervade? Everything is Bhagavan. The name Paryavastita is explained here. Anantarupaha, with one with countless forms and names, countless forms. So the Jagat is nothing but forms of the glory of the Ishvara. The entire Jagat, repeat, the entire Jagat is only the various forms of Ishvara, only. I will repeat it again and again and again 1,000 times. I will not be bored. Because the very purpose of study of Vishnu Sahasranaamam is to see the divinity, see the Ishvara in the entire universe, in everybody. We call it as a SOP, in SOP situation, every object, every possessions, and every person, and every material species, every stavara, jangama, every inanimate, animate, insentient, sentient, everything is only Bhagavan. And this has to be reinforced. I hope last 2 years of study of Vishnu Sahasranaamam to such a depth, I hope you are getting it. This is the one which is the one benefit we should get it. Then from this comes all the corollaries. I have told many times during the start 2 years of talks. All the corollaries. Once you see Ishvara in each and every situation, then your kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, everything goes away. So he is of infinite forms. But in reality, formlessness is the truth of Ishvara. Because he appears as the Jagat, he manifests as a Jagat, but actually ultimate God is formless. That you need to understand. How do you explain this? The formless Brahman with the Maya under his control. Not you cannot use the word even his or it or she, but you have to use some language to explain. So the Brahman with the Maya under the control, the Maya is blessed and Maya pervades. And the Brahman supports the Maya both in the unmanifest and manifest. So many shlokas are there in Gita and all the scriptures. I don't want to get digress. I want to move on and complete the remaining namas. So please understand na ananta rupa hai. Make a multiple underline and star and everything and put it as pariyavastita hai ananta rupa hai and note it down. Then what is that? Ananta Shri. Earlier we have seen Bhagavan. Bhagavan has got 6 gunas, Bhaga. So one of them is limitless power, Aishwaryam. So here Shri means limitless power and resources. Ananta Shri, unlimited power and resources. He is Ananta Shri, one who has limitless Shakti, limitless power and limitless resources. So all the resources have to be put together so that various forms can function, which in turn requires power. Bhagavan has these limitless in limitless measure. If you look at this whole cosmos, how does it operate? All the planets, all the galaxies, everything is in motion and everything is in orderly fashion. You look at the force, then you come to our own Milky Way, our solar system, a speck of a dust in the whole universe. And on that solar system, we are a planet, again a speck of a dust. On the planet, we are sitting in one corner country, whichever country you are in, we are in a corner. That too in a small 400 square feet apartment. And we are all nothing. We should understand Bhagavan has got a limitless power by which he gives all these resources. Bhagavan says, I am giving so much for you. In Gita, he says, I am giving so many things for you. You propitiate me. Have a thanksgiving attitude. And then in turn, I will give you everything. He says repeatedly in Gita, he says, I'll give you everything. You be thankful to me. And if you don't do it, I will penalize you. I'll penalize you. Because you challenge my power, then I do not know. I'm giving you some pinpricks. I told you, Corona is one form of indicator for us. If you don't change the ways, I will wipe out the entire humans. All the animals will be there. I'm again going back to that because that always bugs me. The way currently we are operating the earth, we are abusing the earth, and my blood is boiling. Put it this way. So, Ananta Shrihi. So he has got limited power. Jita Manyuhu, one who has conquered anger. The Lord is Jita Manyu, one who has mastered anger. Essentially, he is free from anger, kopa, krodha, and manyu are various stages of anger. Since we want to be free from anger, we invoke the Lord as Jita Manyu. Okay, whomsoever has got a problem of anger, remember this nama, Jita Manyu. You invoke the Lord, Jita Manyu. The moment you visualize everything as Lord, your anger will automatically go away. Ananta Rupa hai. Where is the question of anger coming up? Whatever I am experiencing, everything is my prarabdha. Whatever I have the fixed deposit in my bank, that only is coming back. So I'm not doing, God is not making you suffer. God is only giving you, He's a karma pala dhata. He is only giving what you deserve. So where is the question of me getting angry on anybody or anything? I deserve these things. So I need to, once you invoke the Lord, understand a little bit. You don't need to go up to Vedanta fully. All you do is see Lord in everything. Your mind will be very calm all the time. Every situation. I told you, no, you go to the airport, flight is delayed. What can you do? Enjoy. Can you do anything? The other day I came from another Jakarta and came back. Last flight of the day, 1 hour delayed, 1.5 hours delayed. All reasons. Then they say thank you for patience. Finally, a standard announcement will come. Okay, and then they say because of the standard reasons, because of the arrival of the aircraft from the previous destination. So I'm delayed. It's a standard ones. What can you do about it? You cannot do anything about it. So in life, we should all understand few things very clearly. How can you get rid of anger? Because it's a subject by itself. Okay. Bhagavan, when you invoke Lord, your anger should subside. How will you invoke the Lord? See Lord in the Anantarupa, all the forms. Then how the anger will subside? Anything which is happening, it's all whatever I sow in the past, that is what I am reaping. Nanmayim, Teemayim, Pirartara Vara. The good and badness, nobody is giving. Only the trouble is coming through somebody. It can be a stray dog, and nowadays I see quite a few tigers coming from the forest and coming and doing all the kind of things. I saw a video yesterday. So they come and grab something. So it can come in various rupas. The trouble will come to you. So there are three kinds of trouble: tapatrayam, adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi daivika. Three kinds of afflictions will come based on the prarabdha, what we do not know. I do not know whether the nuclear war will come or not tomorrow. We all pray, Ukraine and Russia shake hands, and then somewhere it subsides. We are on the brink of a war, unprecedented time we are going through. We do not know. There is anger on every side. I hope better sense prevails for everyone. We, as a piddly small jiva sitting in one corner, can only pray that let better sense prevail in all those leaders, let it subside. We do not know. So don't worry about the global problems. Don't worry about the house problems. House problems, what? All these people, whatever my children, whatever my parents, all those things, it will all be there. Yep, there is no jiva who has got no problem. Everybody has got a problem. Only thing is what? If you consider it as a problem, it is a problem. How you as a person who is in line with Lord, how should you do? You should say everything is Bhagavan is testing me. When I am getting a ill health or I have got some problem in my home, I don't call it as a problem. Bhagavan is giving me trouble so that he is testing whether I am thinking of him all the time. So my point is what? Ananyas chintayam tomam yajana paryupasate tesham nityabhyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyam. You think of me, I will take care of you. And he says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshyosti na priya. I have got no enemy. Everybody is uniform for me. I only distribute the karma pala, what you accumulated. Like a bank teller, you go to the bank and ask him if the money is there, he'll give you. Bhagavan is like that. So don't blame Bhagavan. Sometimes people think they are so religious. And when problems come, they say there's no Bhagavan at all. I have seen people behaving erratically like this, who have not understood. Very unfortunate. They claim themselves as religious. I have done so many milk abhishekas. I have done so many donations given you. I have done so many Anga Pradakshinam. I have demonstrated Sabarimala 45 times. Male Pade, Kid Pade. What is that? You have to understand the religion properly. You have to understand God properly. You must know how to pray. You must know who is God. You must know how to pray. You must know what to expect. All these things are lacking in many of the so-called Hindus because we don't study scriptures. You study scriptures properly, it gives you how you can utilize our religion and then we excel ourselves. Because the whole study is what? I have to study myself. I have to understand my true nature. That is the very purpose I am given this human birth. Durlabam trayam evaidate deva anugraha hetukam. Manushutvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha samshayaka. Acharya says in Vivek Chudamani introduction. The very purpose I am giving you Manushutvam is what? For getting liberated. Being born as a human being is the biggest gift which has been given by the Lord. Then interest in spirituality is important. Then they will have Guru coming in. Then you will get it. So we are all born as a human being. Develop interest in spirituality. At least for those who are listening to this talk series or class series of Vishnu Sahasranaamam, if at all it can be useful, Lord will be very happy. If for those who are start studying scriptures, please dwell on the scriptures systematically somewhere. And I told you repeatedly, you start with Bhagavad Gita. No other scripture is required. Only one scripture. Sarvopanishado ghavo dokta gopalanandana. Everything is there. Entire Upanishad Sara is there. You don't need to. Why I'm saying is, anger is the one which is actually is prevailing a lot in the current world, because we have lost our forbearance, our titiksha. We don't tolerate all the plurality we have got. This we have been, our fuse wire blows very quickly. So today we need to rein our anger at a personal level, even at a society level. We must know, live and let live. Let everybody live. Let them follow whichever faith they have got. No fight should happen between various religions. No forced conversion should happen. Everybody should allow to take their own decisions whichever they want to. That's the way it has to progress. And every race should live together. We all should live in harmony. That is the Sanatana Dharma. Because there will be people of all those things. Even thousands of years ago, people are different. Even before the birth of other religions, there are so many people who thought differently. There have been philosophy called Charvaka, which said, no, there is no God at all. It is there right from Anadi Kalam. When the human comes, they challenge everything. It is nothing unusual. But we as individual, once you study the scriptures, Ananta Rupaha, Ananta Shrihi, Jita Manyuhu, then we will be having a calm understanding. And Santaha. No, Santaha, Bhagavan is there in the saintly form of people. Approach them. They will teach you. Everything is given free. That is one. The next one, next Nama, another interesting Nama. Na, Bhaya Paha. All are interconnected, I told you. Bhaya Paha. The once koam comes, one anger comes, and you are not able to do it. One anger comes, you are not able to do it. Because your capacity is nothing. I told you, airline is late, cancellation, nothing can happen. But what will you do? Then after some time, the anger will turn into a fear. Very psychological thing. Your frustration. Nah. So initially we start with anger, then it turns into helplessness. Helplessness, anger. First is the helplessness, then anger, then it goes into frustration, and finally, either it can lead to depression or complete fear. So Lord is Bhayapaha, one who destroys the fear. It is only by understanding Ishvara that one could get rid of the fear. There's no other way. There's no other way. So since time always poses a threat and fear is innate in living beings, death is a threat and there is a possibility of losing what one has. Nobody can escape the jaws of death, isn't it? It's a very factual thing. You can escape various things, had a good life. You can live for 100, 110, 120. After that, still science has not evolved for keeping us alive for indefinite period. I hope it is not possible also. Okay, so it will not be able to do it. Now it can extend it. Maybe it can be like a tortoise going on living at 500 years, or you can be like a tree which is living for 3,000 years. So that's what is possible. But you cannot be living indefinitely. So everybody has to one day vacate this place. So there is a fear. It's yes, Janma Mritti Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Bhagavan says in Gita. So falling from grace is a cause of fear. And all that is there is only Ishvara. And he is not a threat at all. Because when you say Ananta Rupa hai, Ananta Rupa hai, and Paryavastita hai, when you know everything is Lord, where is the question of fear coming? Very simple. We are attacking the root cause. Root cause is what? The Ahankara, Mamakara. It is me and mine. The moment you attack this and say everything is God, then where is the question of fear coming? The fear will completely vanish. So Ishvara is always a support and he is infallible. Therefore, once we know that Bhagavan pervades both inside and outside us, then the presence of Bhagavan is very much there in our awareness. That means this awareness, this I call it as a tambura shruti. This has to be there all the time. That Bhagavan is there everywhere. This tambura shruti has to happen all the time. How will you do it? How will you do it? You ask the musicians, they will say, what is a tambura shruti? Whatever you do, you remember it. I gave you the example in the past. How do you remember your name all the time? Wherever in a big crowd you say somebody calls your name, immediately you turn. He is calling somebody else. But the moment you hear it, you remove it. How do you do it? It is in your subconscious mind. I give the latest examples. That is why Bhagavan has given the cell phone to us. You know why Bhagavan has given the cell phone to us? Because now cell phone has become a Karna Kundala for all of us in the last 10 years. Wherever we are, we will not lose the cell phone. Immediately we will recognize. The moment you miss it, we will immediately say, "Hey, I missed the cell phone." You are talking in a place and you are having a dinner in somebody's house. You go down to the to pick up the taxi. Immediately you call from there. I left the cell phone. How are you able to get it? All picked up in the last 10 years. This habit. How did you get it? Who taught you? Because you see the utility of this object, because you see the value of this object, because it is giving so much of luxury and so much of comfort, so much of ease of doing things. So we are all hooked to this cell phone. It's one of the greatest inventions of the century. I will not call it invention, it's a discovery, because everything is only Bhagavan's knowledge. And somebody has put it together, and we call it as a smartphone. And they say more things to come. So we are able to remember it wherever it is. This habit we have picked up only in the last few years. How? Because we love, because you see the utility, because it is part and parcel of our love, because I have got ultimately a value for it. And those who recognize Ishvara in their space, those who are able to see Ishvara in every form and name, na Ananta Rupa hai, Paryavastita hai, they will be never forgetting Ishvara in their life. When you get up, Karagve Vastate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Sthite Gauri, Prapade Karadakshina. Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvatastana Mandale, Vishnu Pasni Namastubhyam, Padasparsham, Shamashvame. There are so many slokas given in our scriptures. Every activity. When you eat what? Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan is there in the Jataragni. So Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi, people say. Aham Vaishwanoro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. So many prayers invoking the Lord. When you go to the car, you see you pick up Vinayaka or some photo or something in the dashboard. Immediately pray. And then Bhagavan has to take me out. What is the guarantee you will go safely? You may drive safely. It doesn't mean you are going to be reaching guarantee safely. You know. So Ishvara has to be brought in our life. It is by sheer love. If you bring it, that's the best way. Nobody can force it force it on you by force. You cannot do it. If you force it, you will try to escape. But some people like the forcing to make it as a habit. Once it becomes a habit, then they don't need a force at all. So some people, even by force, they will not remember. Some people, you force them, they'll be able to remember, and after that they will be picking it as a habit. How do you force it? That is where we say, catch the children young. Inject spirituality, inject Ishvara, knowledge of God, and teach them values at a very young age. At a very young age. Tamil, there is a saying, Aindil vilayadadu, Aimbadil vilayadu. So catch them young. That means what cannot be done at 5, you cannot get at 50. So catch them young. That's so many organizations are doing so many good things. So catch them young and inject these things. At that time, they will be hesitating. You do Sandhya Vandanam, then only, my mother used to say, you do perform Sandhya Vandana, then Sapad will be there. Food will be given to you. So she'll make you get up. Go and do it and come back. And I used to curse you. And now what? You carry it, the whole kit, everywhere you go. And then you try to do it. Who has taught you? No, why? Why should I do it? Value. Because you know the mantras, you know how glorious they are. And what we are asking in Sandhya Vandanam, we do prayashchitta for every day's our transgressions. Whatever little bit papas which we know or we do not know, we do it. We ask for pardon. And then we are asking for what? Buddhi. Dhyayona prachodayat. Give me the intellect to think, understand, study Vishnu Sahasranaamam, understand myself, that everything is Bhagavan. This is what we are asking. So once you teach them, once you put them in the engage, later part they will come back again. They will come back again. Take the example of our corona and the mask. Initially, mask was never there. We got corona and every government imposed put penalty. Now what happens? We automatically carry the mask wherever you go. Many of us started doing it. Now study has shown in Singapore, for example, mask is not required except you go to hospitals and clinics. Mask is not required at all. But we see many people go with the mask everywhere because they have seen the value of the mask. Why? Your normal cough and cold is not coming. Your visits to GP will come down if you wear the mask regularly because the contaminations will not be there. So I see many people using the mask regularly now. Why? Value. How the value comes? Statistics says in the 2 years when the corona was there, other cough and cold and other flus, everything came down. Statistics says. So some people have taken it as a value, they wear everywhere. So either by force you can get it, or by understanding you get it. Ultimate thing is what? You have to connect with the Lord to take out the fear. Because human is embodiment of fear. Okay, initially our awareness is that Ishvara is present in all situations. And finally, what is that? The complete understanding will be, I am Ishvara. I am the Ishvara. That means that awareness because of which we are aware of Ishvara is itself is Ishvara. Aham Brahmasmi. This is the ultimate pinnacle of knowledge. At the absolute level, Aham Brahman Asmi. What does he mean by that? I am that Sachidananda Brahman. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. Mai Sarvam Layam Yadi, Tad Brahmad Bhayam Asmi Aham. Beautiful quote. So that is the ultimate knowledge. Then everything will. There are so many quotations are there in Vedas, Upanishads. Anyhow, so the main thing what I want to say is, if you want to destroy fear, because this is the one which drives the human, and that is where the anxiety, and the anxiety is only leading to all kinds of problems, both mental afflictions and physical ailments. And one has to be out of fear. The fear will go away only when you lead a life of dharma and with the Lord in your life. Very, very simple. Otherwise, the fear will never go. You may think the person has got a lot of money, he's happy. Actually, people who have got a lot of money are under constant threat and fear. Go and ask him. If you're a CEO, go and ask him. He will be giving a nice interview, smiling, but internally, he will not know how many days he's going to be a CEO. If he is a businessman, then he will not know what will be the whether I love business next week or not, because so many people I have to feed, I have to take care. You have seen businesses going to bankruptcies. So don't think money will give you happiness, will remove fear. In fact, it will only increase the fear. The more and more possessions you have got, whether it is more and more money, more and more bungalows, more and more yacht, whatever it is, or more and more people, all will lead to more samsara, more fear only. You cannot get rid of the fear. The fear can go away only by leading a life of dharma with Ishvara in our life. You have to bring Ishvara into every part of life. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasiyat, yat tapassis gauteya tat kurushva madarpanam. To summarize how the fear will go away, lead a life of Ishvara arpana bhava and prasada buddhi. This is called karma yoga. For those who have not studied scriptures, this is what I am trying to summarize. That means anything I do, I offer to the Lord. Anything I experience, I take it as Ishvara prasada. This is the ultimate, only one way of getting rid of the fear. And ultimately, you understand I am Brahman, completely will be eliminated. Initially, you lean on Ishvara. Our Swamiji used to say, from world dependence, you go to God dependence. That's the step one. Then ultimately, step two, ultimate goal is self-dependence, God dependence to self-dependence, because I and God are one and the same. That's what is given here. The awareness because of which we are aware of Ishvara is itself Ishvara. Even a relative understanding of Ishvara removes the fear. So be a karma yogi. The jnana can wait. Be a karma yogi. Dedicate everything to Ishvara. Take everything as the prasada. then your fear will go away. Next one. Uh, Chaturasraha. Chaturasraha, the one of infallible justice. Chaturasra basically means one which has got four uniform corners. The word is popularly used to indicate something very orderly and just. So Bhagavan is Chaturasra, Chaturasra, one who is endowed with infallible, absolute justice. Bhagavan is never sadistic or partial. He never gives any karma phala, sukha or dukkha, unless the person deserves that. So one who is infallible is Bhagavan. So I have talked about it before. Bhagavan is never partial. Bhagavan is very just and fair, and he is consistent. So anything I experience, it is my own punya papa karmani, which is coming back again. We call it as a prarabdha. Sanjita, agami, prarabdha. So all these things, whatever I get, I deserve, I will get it. So I will have to endure. We never ask Ishvara the question, why did you give me the lottery? When I started my career, I never imagined I am not risen, I am not a very glorious from an ordinary people world, and I am not a very successful person in the material world. In the sense, I am not a billionaire Ambani, I am neither a CEO of a company, but I have come up a long way from what I started off in my life. By what? Not by myself, Ishvara. Like all of us are like that. Many of us are like this. By what? Whatever we are in, with whatever the material, little bit of material possessions, whatever you have got, the kind of experiences we have seen around the world, everything, whatever enjoyment we have been going through, fortunate, very, very fortunate, because of the good prarabdham which has fructified. So, because of that only, we have been enjoying all these things. Now, some people have got a fear whether it will continue in my next janma. Because we know death is certain. In my next janma, will it continue? First of all, you are not sure whether you will have the next janma as a human. That itself is not, we do not know. And assuming you are going to get it, it all depends on all your punya papa, what you have got. So if people who are still not studying scriptures and not understanding it, if you ever want to have a next janma properly, only for those who are still want to be, because I don't want a next janma. I want this to be a last janma. Okay, if somebody wants to say, I want to see the next janma, that too I want to be a human being, there are two possibilities. One possibility is you do lot of punya, you lot of good deeds now, and be a good citizen and pray to God a lot, and then Bhagavan will give you heaven. And then you can go to heaven, enjoy the celestial pleasures for an extended period of time, and probably if you have got a good grace, then you can come back as a Manushya again. And your good punya might again fructify, because in the previous janmas, what you have done, you do not know. I'm just giving you a probability. So again, it may come and you may be able to continue. The other thing is what Shastra says is, if you start studying the scriptures, even if you have not completed, you have not come to the level Aham Brahmasmi, you have not graduated, you have not got the self-lived knowledge, because many people are still very, very diffident. Hey, how can I do this? I'm not able to understand this concept. Pick it in the parking lot. Be a karma yogi and having the Ishvara in your life, Ishvara Arpana Prasada, which I told you earlier, and be leading in that life. And Bhagavan says, I will make sure you will get the Manushya Janma again. You will continue your spiritual journey. So somewhere either in this Janma or in some other future Janma, which is successively Manushya Janma, at least you will be breaking this cycle. You will get the knowledge, and I will make sure you will get it. Let me conclude this talk by saying, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantya mam bhaktya dushyanticha ramanticha tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam preeti purvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantya mam bhaktya dushyanticha ramanticha tesham satata yuktanam. Let me take that book. Suddenly jumbling. Okay. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam preeti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam. Bhagavan says very clearly in the 10th chapter, very, very important section. Bhagavan says, Satyesham Sadam, Machitta, sorry, not I confused this thing. Machitta Madgata Pranaha Botayanta Parasparam. I confused two slokas. Machitta Madgata Pranaha Botayanta Parasparam Katayatascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Tesham Satadayuktanam Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam Badhami Buddhiyogam Tam Yenama Mupayanti te Teshame Vanukam Partham Aham Ajnanajam Tamah Nashayam Yatma Bhavastah Jnana Deepena Bhaswata. There's another shloka which I confused it. So Machitta Madgata Pranaha, 9, 10, and 11th shloka of 10th chapter, you remember, be in the thought of Lord. So very beautiful Naamaas. So let us live a life of God-centric life, a life of thought of Lord in all the things we do. Bhagavan will take care of us now and now on. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Magi Magishaha Gobrahmanebhyo Shubhamas Nityam Loka Samasta Sukino Bhavantu. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Krishnarpanamastu. We will continue next class. Haribo.